What's up, IDP Army? We're back. It's your man, Jordan Rains, at 50 Shades of Drunk. If you're following on YouTube, appreciate you. If you're watching on Twitter, I appreciate you too. Smash like, smash subscribe, all that good stuff. Go do a quick instant reaction video on the J.J. Watt news that dropped this morning. He has been released by the Texans per Adam Schefter this morning. And it's a big move. I mean, this is a big defensive move. J.J. Watt, former Defensive Player of the Year, multiple times over, has led the NFL in tackles for loss, sacks, he has a lot of accolades. I mean, we don't need to get into it. You know who J.J. Watt is. There's a reason that a lot of people that don't talk about defensive football players were tweeting and joining the conversation about J.J. Watt today. Why? There's enough information. He's a big enough name. They feel comfortable. They feel confident speculating on that. That's fine. Welcome to the fray. We rock defensive players around here 24/7. Where's this? We already got a Watt brother hanging out in here, so you know how I like to do it. But yeah, so what does this really mean? Well, let's talk about what it means for the Texans. The Texans just lost. I mean, they don't have many good players to start. They just lost their best one, some generational kind of guy. Deshaun Watson's definitely not going to be sticking around. This team's in trouble. They have the pass rush situation was bad. Even J.J. Watt, as good as he is this year, only came up with, five sacks. He had no help. So 5 sacks was honestly amazing that he even got those. He was double-teamed basically every single play because he doesn't really have a lot of help there. But J.J. Watt, let's talk about the season he just had. He played all 16 games. You need to notice that. He can do it. He can still do it. He's had 3 seasons where he didn't, but he's had a lot more seasons where he did. So don't let that kind of narrative worry you too much. 14 tackles for loss. Saw somebody on Twitter with a blue check mark saying something ignorant about, maybe in his prime, J.J. Watt could, be equal to Aaron Donald. Stop. Please stop. Aaron Donald's great, but he's not even sniffing what J.J. Watt has done in his career. Not even close. J.J. Watt, he's 31 years old. He had 14 tackles for loss this year. Same as Aaron Donald. There's no, he's almost there or whatever. He has been and has always been better than Aaron Donald. They play different positions. Don't even just leave Aaron Donald out of this fucking conversation, please. I'm so sick and tired of hearing about him. Anyway, so we have 5 sacks for Watt. That's not great for him this year. 2 forced fumbles, though. He did lead the league in forced fumbles just 2 years ago with 7. He had an interception. He had a touchdown this year. Still had 7 pass deflections, which totally accumulated to a total of 26 impact plays for J.J. Watt. Now, what does that really mean, for J.J. Watt? Okay, so we had 26 impact plays, right? Well, for perspective, this year in impact play leaders across all positions, he finished 9th. An impact play in IDP 1, 2, 3 scoring or on defense is just any play that's not a tackle or a quarterback hit. So there's only a handful of guys this year that did better than him. The people that did, TJ Watt, Roquan Smith, Devin White, Marlon Humphrey, KJ Wright, Levante David, Xavier Howard, and then we get to JJ Watt. So, that's not counting the sacks either. So he's still making high-level impact plays on the field, 26 this year. When you go down, you're looking at guys like Blake Martinez. He had 22. You're looking at guys, Khalil Mack had 21. Aaron Donald had 20 impact plays this year. 6 more this guy's doing. These are real things that are happening on the field. So this concept that J.J. Watt has lost a step or isn't very good or that he was released because he's somehow not capable of playing football is really, really dumb, number one. You have to look at more than just pass rushing acumen when you look at a pass rusher, when you look at an edge defender. And sure, he didn't get home a lot, but he still knocked down a bunch of balls. He still caught an interception. He still did a lot of stuff. And he did it while getting double teamed 24/7, 365. So where's he going? What's happening with J.J. Watt? Call it low-hanging fruit, but for me, he's going to the Steelers. He's going where his brother is. His other brothers they've already consolidated Watts. They're bringing Watts in, okay? They brought a Watt in last year. They drafted a Watt. There's another Watt on the market. Mike Tomlin's not a dumbass, okay? He's one of the best coaches in the NFL. He knows a moment like this doesn't pop up very often. He also likes older guys. Look at that defense. They're generally stocked up with a lot of, older gentlemen. You've got Cam Hayward's getting up there in age. Tuitt's getting a little bit up there in age. They let Hargrave walk last year go to the Eagles. So their defensive line, and we have Dupree, the Dupree situation. I've seen people saying they're going to bring Dupree back. I don't think they'll do that personally because they got to pay TJ Watt, number one. If they give any money to Bud Dupree before they do that, I might quit. So that's not going to happen. I don't believe that's going to happen. But I think J.J. Watt will end up with the Steelers. I'm not a cap person. I don't claim to know how the salary cap works. And I think most people that claim to know don't know, because I don't think anybody really knows. So I try not to get into that conversation where it's like, this is impossible because of the cap. Because we've seen it manipulated, moved a lot in the last couple of years. We know people can finesse it. Some teams are better than others. And the Steelers, yes, they do have a lot of money in the cap, tied up in the cap, but Steelers can finesse things. Steelers can get rid of guys. We saw them get rid of AB. We don't know what's up with Juju. I mean, there are people that can disappear and we'll be okay. We'll make our money back. So, and at this point, at 31 years old, being basically the generational defensive player of our time, J.J. Watt's already gotten money. Like, he's not looking to sign a contract for money. This isn't a Robert Quinn type of situation from last year. This isn't a Jadeveon Clowney situation. Yeah, Clowney's like, oh, I want to play for a contender. He's lucky he even got a chance with some of the people he got with. But J.J. Watt I don't think he's looking for money. He's looking for somebody that's going to be a playoff, not just a playoff contender, someone to make it, but somebody that can push into the playoffs. And we've seen the Steelers were right on the cusp 2 years ago with no Big Ben. They made it this year, but the rails fell off a little bit. I don't want to get into the weeds on that as a Steelers fan. I'm not here to talk about the Steelers. I'm talking about J.J. Watt. So for me, I think J.J. Watt is going to end up on the Steelers this year. I think he's going to play with his brothers. I think that's my take on the situation for J.J. Watt. I'm interested to see what you all think. My last video that got a lot of, hype was on TJ Watt, and you all pretty much ran me through the dirt because y'all love Aaron Donald, and that's great. This video is about another Watt, and this is really fun. This is really a big story in the NFL right now. I love that the Watt brothers both finished in top 10 defensive line for IDP Fantasy Football. I love that that there's a chance they could play together. I just love everything about this. I love that J.J. Watt is going to be able to. I know he loves Texas and he loves the Houston, but I like the idea that J.J. Watt's going to be able to go play somewhere where he can at least believe in here that they're going to go somewhere. Because he deserves that. Because we've all seen the videos of him downtrodden. This man has put his life. Basically put his life and livelihood on the line a lot. This guy's fingers, bones are coming out, neck issues, back. He's flexing so hard, he's like pulling back muscles. Like this is a guy you want on your team. So we'll see where he lands, I guess. Why don't you all leave me a comment down below. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Leave me a comment where you think J.J. Watt is going to land. If it's not the Steelers, if you do think it's the Steelers and anything about the cap situation, maybe tell me how you think that's going to work out or be finessed. I'm interested. I'm here to learn as well as to help curate and put forth good information for you all. So that's this short little video. I felt like it was important to hit on this. For an IDP fantasy perspective, J.J. Watt, he was a top 10 guy this year. And that was with 5 sacks. So you don't have to have monster sack numbers. You don't have to be a 25-year-old. You don't have to be ripped and cute, like Nick Bosa to still be good in the NFL at rushing the passer or, getting those auxiliary stats that make you valuable to any NFL team. J.J. Watt, any team in the NFL will make him work. He can play any system. He can fit anywhere. He can do it all. He's going to be a hot commodity. I'm really happy the Texans actually released him, so he's going to have a little bit of say over what happens, and that's another reason I think the Steelers are kind of the obvious choice. So, like I said, I appreciate you guys watching this video. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of things to say about this. This is my take on it. Like I said, leave me a comment. Go check out Prediction Strike. If you guys want to get in on buying some player shares in the NBA, the NFL, use the code IDP123. Get in there. It is awesome. If you want to get on the stock market game, kind of the way that, a lot of people are with the GME and, what are the other big ones? AMC and all that, but you're not really comfortable in that world, but you are in the sports world. Prediction Strike is your entry-level point to play, the market, to play that world. So sign up for that. I'm on there. I bought some shares of De'Ron Fox. He's way too cheap on there. Jonathan Taylor's pretty cheap. A.J. Dillon is dirt cheap right now. He's going to go up. Believe that. A.J. Dillon, he might be the Tesla of Prediction Strike. So go get you some of that. Use my code IDP123, IDP Army. I'll have another video for you soon, another episode of the podcast and all that stuff, but I appreciate you rocking with me. That's pretty much all shit I got to say. So I hope you all have a good weekend. It is Friday. Go out there, get it. Don't apologize for being awesome. And I will see you back on the channel soon. Goodbye.